Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and today we're going to be talking about what to do and how to get your island ready to set your dream address. I've got a few things that I like to do when I'm getting ready for posting a dream address, so I thought I would share them with you. Currently we're on my island of Azalea, which if you follow my channel you'll know is my winter town island, and hopefully by the time you're watching this island tour will all be up, the dream address will be released, and hopefully you'll all be liking it, fingers crossed. But yeah, when I set the dream address I do a few things, so I'm going to run through them with you today. If you're worrying about what to do when you do post your dream address, hopefully I've got you covered and you'll have lots of amazing visitors coming to your island. If you like the sound of that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe and stay tuned. So one of the first things that I do is run around my island with a shovel in hand to make sure that all my flowers are looking wonderful. Sometimes I do use the transparent custom design, and this stops the flowers from spreading without causing an eyesore, so you don't have to totally fill the area with custom designs or items. But sometimes I do forget, so just for like flower management purposes I do run around and just double check that there's not any duplicates in areas that I don't want them to be. I also run around and check that my flowers are in bloom. Sometimes I plant flowers at the very end of the dream address or when I'm ready for completion. So what I'll do then is just make sure that they are in the state that I want them to be so that my island is looking fabulous. One of the things I always forget to do is to set my flag. For my latest island I did kind of leave it to the last minute. I would have liked to have got a island flag custom designed, but yeah, I forgot. So I've just found one on Pinterest and I'm gonna go ahead and set it. So all you need to do is speak to Isabel and then find the design that you want and choose it like that. Isabel, obviously she's slightly a bit biased, but yeah, the flag really does help finish off the island. Unless you like the green leaf, then that's totally up to you. For number 3, don't forget to pick up those twigs. I personally don't like the look of them unless you're going for sort of an overgrown, abandoned style island. In that case you might want your twigs laid out. But personally they just cause me a bit of an eyesore, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick all of them up. The next thing you might want to clear up before you release your dream address is any weeds. Obviously this will depend on your island. Maybe you have some weeds intentionally placed in areas and you might want to keep them there, then that's fine. But if your area is like mine, then you might not want to have this particular weed here, so I'm going to go ahead and collect them up. With things like this, like twigs, fossils, etc., if you do have to reset your dream address or change it forward a day for any particular reason, then you just have to remember to do it again, because you're unable to set a dream address more than once per day. So that is a bit of a nuisance, but hopefully you'll get it right the first time. So rocks are another thing that can be a bit of a nuisance. If you haven't specifically designed an area for where you want your rocks to go, then your best bet may be to just smash them up and then save your dream address so that they don't respawn and they're not there for when people do visit your dream address. I tend to, unless I've done a specific rock garden or something like that, I tend to just smash them and then leave them like that. If you totally fill enough squares, then they won't respawn at all, so that is a bonus, something to consider if you're kind of trying to fill every space on your island. Next up, we're going to talk about fossils. I personally don't like this hole in the ground, so what I tend to do is dig up my fossils. If you're at an earlier stage and not quite there for releasing your dream address, then you can actually replant the fossils and they will still count towards the fossil count and won't respawn. So you can hide them behind cliffs, hide them behind big buildings. Just a little tip for you there if you're tired of digging them up every day. The same should work for your twigs. You can also hide them behind large structures as well, so they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. Next up, I've brought you inside. Some people aren't a fan of doing their interiors, and that's totally fine. You don't have to release your dream address with totally complete house, but if you are the sort of person who likes to do 1, maybe 2 rooms, then that's fine, you can do that as well. For this island, I've decided not to complete all of my interiors, mainly because I'm getting my interior fix from Happy Home Paradise. So what I've done instead is I've blocked off all of the doorways using the wall partitions, as you can see here. It does make it a bit hard to take photos, but it does actually still look really good. Other ways you could block the walls off using simple panels, that's another great way, or larger furniture items, so wooden bookshelves, things like that that would prevent anyone getting in there but would also hide the doorway so you can't actually see it. Yeah, so it's just a nice thing to do if you don't want to allow people into some other rooms. Obviously people still access your basement and your attic, so maybe those are the rooms that you want to decorate. Another thing I always forget to do is to amend my passport. So all you have to do is go into your phone, go to your passport section, and then press A and you can edit. If you've ever been to a dream address and spoken to the resident rep, they will kind of give you a little bit of a comment. It can be a default one or you can change it up yourself. I'm gonna go with brr, it's cold just because this is a winter island, but you can add whatever you want. You can also change up your picture and also your kind of name, but I'm sure you guys know about that, but it's just a little reminder, just so that when you do set your dream address, your visitors have a nice little message. The next thing you might want to do, but this is totally optional, is to leave some gifts or presents for your visitors. What I've done is I've grabbed some wrapping paper and wrapped up some winter hats, as it is a winter island, and I've also dropped some ice cream, because if you're not cold enough you might as well enjoy some ice cream as well, and some fizzy apple so that you can do some cheers. Yeah, as I say, this is totally optional. I would suggest leaving them by the airport or by your resident services so that when people do wake up from the dream address they're easy to see. Other things you might want to leave is kind of tools. Maybe they might need a wooden ladder to get around, to access things. That's super handy unless you've made your whole kind of cliff area really accessible. You might want to do whole outfits. Maybe you've got a particular island theme, then that's fun. I think it's just a nice little element. Obviously no one's going to be able to take these home with them, but it's just a little bit of added fun for visiting your island. Another thing you might want to do is scan in an amiibo card so that when visitors come to your island, there'll be a full tent at your campsite. Thank you to Rochelle for reminding me about this one. I didn't have it on my list, so massive thank you to you. But all you need to do is go to your ABD machine and just scan in your amiibo card, and then the campsite will be full. Unfortunately, this won't work unless you do have an amiibo card, but I think it does make a little bit of a difference when people are visiting. They won't be able to go inside, but nonetheless it still looks really, really cute. And the final thing you might want to do is think about the time and the date when you're going to set your dream address. If you're a time traveler, this probably applies to you. If you're not, then I guess it's just going to be whenever you're ready for it. But there's so many different variables with this. There's different kind of times of seasons. Maybe you want it in secure season. Maybe you want it when the lights are on the trees during winter. Also, the time of day can make a massive impact on how people see your island. If you have an island that's illuminated, I would suggest maybe doing it at night time so that people can see the full effect of the lights, etc. And also golden hour is a really, really nice time of day to set for islands that maybe like spring, etc., just so that they really bring out the yellow tones. Likewise, early morning. If you're not a time traveler and you've never played during the early morning on Animal Crossing, I would definitely recommend it. It's such a peaceful and tranquil time to play at the time of the day, and it's just really, really beautiful. Likewise, maybe there's different weathers that you would like to consider. Maybe you want your island to be in snow or rain, or you want sunshine. So think about all of those different things when you're trying to find the perfect time of day for setting your dream address. I would suggest looking at Meteo Nook. Maybe it's a bit too late, but if you're intrigued about all of the times, days, special events that can happen on your island, then I would definitely recommend checking that app out if you haven't already. So guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you found it helpful and I cannot wait to check out your amazing dreamer dresses. Bit sad because this is the last video that I'll be filming on Azalea, but it's a nice way to end. So I hope you're all well and have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye bye.